today's video I want to share with you guys how I created a farmhouse style wall shelf with Dollar Tree products for just $2.
All those days trying to find a place that you won't make them just be alone, All those nights lying by your side, like it's a vibe, feeling it shine under your spotlight.
Welcome back to Ria's World of Ideas. If you are new to my channel, I am Ria, and on my channel I love sharing all the ideas that I find helpful in my life and home, and hopefully you'll find them helpful in your life and home as well. So if you're not a subscriber already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave this video, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you're always notified on all the new videos that I put out. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed it so that I'm able to bring more videos to you guys in the future that you guys would like. So with all that being said, let's just jump into today's video. And today I'm going to share with you guys, like I said, a farmhouse style wall shelf that I created. And this video is actually a collaboration video with Yami from the Latina Next Door and also Courtney from Creative on the Cheap. And this is basically a Look for Less collaboration. Now every month, Yami from the Latina Next Door, she hosts these Look for Less challenges, and she always has a co-host. So like I said, her co-host this month is Courtney from Creative on the Cheap. And basically what we have to do is take a piece that we've seen online that's quite expensive or a little bit out of our price range and recreate it for much, much less. So after you have watched my video, don't forget to check the information box below because I will have the links to their channels. They're very creative. You want to check out the things that they come up with. Also, I'll have a playlist for all the other ladies and all the other participants that are joining this collaboration, and they're going to be sharing their ideas as well. So don't just see my video, check out their videos to get much, much more DIY ideas. Now, my idea, I decided to come up with something that I had in my stash. I didn't want to go out to the stores, you know, with everything going on with the coronavirus. I didn't want to go shopping for supplies. So I wanted to create something that I already had in my stash. And there has been this shelf that I have kind of seen on Etsy that I knew I could recreate with something that I had at home. And this shelf on Etsy was actually $44.95. And I recreated what I saw for just $2. Now mine is a little bit smaller than the one that you can get on Etsy, but I still feel like it's a great size for any type of, you know, room, and you can always add things to it to make it bigger, but it's not that much smaller. And the price difference from $44.95 to $2, I will take it. So if you want to see how I recreated this farmhouse style wall shelf for just $2, then stay tuned to this video. So here's the wall shelf that I'm recreating, and as you can see, it's $44.95 on Etsy. And I've seen it this price and much more on other places online. And as you can see with this one, they kind of did it like a beach theme with some beach colors, but you can definitely take this and do any kind of color scheme that you want to go with your home decor. And that's what I'm doing. I'm actually doing different grays for my home decor. Now the height of this, like I told you, is a little bit bigger than the one I made. The height of it is 22 inches and the width is 17.5 inches. And mine is actually a width of 11.5 and a height of 10.5, which is not that much different, and I've only made mine for $2. So to create the wood palette look for this shelf, I'm using this Easter decor kind of sign. I saw it and I instantly thought that this looked like palettes put together. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to take off that string because I'm not going to need it for this shelf. And I'm actually going to save the string because anytime I do a lot of DIY projects this farmhouse, and I can always reuse it. I'm also going to remove the sticker from the back because I'm actually going to paint the back side of this. Before I even start painting, I'm going to fill in the holes that were there from the string, and I'm just going to use some of this wood filler to fill in the holes. After the wood filler has completely dried, I'm going to go in with this apple barrel white paint, and I'm basically going to paint this whole thing white because I want it to be kind of like a base color white. I don't want the brown showing through when I'm trying to do the color grays. So I want to basically just start off with just a clean slate, and I just feel like the white, the matte white, just is a good base to start off with to paint the rest of this project. Once the white paint was dry, I took my ruler and just a pencil and started drawing lines to make this look more like a palette. And I didn't completely cover this in white because you really don't have to. I just wanted it to be kind of like a base coat, so I didn't completely cover it with white. I just wanted the matte paint to kind of be a good base for my grays. So I just basically went with the lines that had to do with the different pieces of wood that was on the other side and just drew my lines that way. Once I was done drawing my lines, now I was going to go in with my gray paints. And originally I was going to go in with 3 different colors, kind of like I seen on the Etsy one. But then you'll see later on I changed my mind. But I originally go with the 3 colors. I go with the light gray that's called Country Gray by Apple Barrel. I also use an Elephant Gray, which is like a medium color by Apple Barrel. And then the darkest one was Pewter Gray. And I'm just basically looking at the wood pieces and kind of deciding how I want to do it. If I wanted the lights on the outside, if I wanted the darks on the outside. I was basically, just playing with it to try to figure out which colors I wanted where. Now the paintbrushes that I'm using for this project are the ones that I have right here, and you can get them in like the auto and houseware section at Dollar Tree. And I feel like they're the perfect paintbrushes to do like that dry brushing effect, because when you put them on to whatever you're painting it just gives it like little coats of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like it makes it look like aged wood. And so that's what I'm doing right now. You can just see I tapped off a little bit of the paint and I'm just going in the same direction and kind of brushing it on there, but not having it fully covered. And when you do that with the different paints, it just gives it that aged wood look. So I decided to start with the middle, and I'm going in with the darker color in the middle, which is Pewter Gray, which, like I said, originally I wanted to do 3 different colors, but you'll see in a minute how I changed my mind when I see how all the colors don't kind of quite come together the way I want it to. Now I took the smaller brush and I'm going in with that lightest gray, which is called Country Gray, and I'm basically doing the same thing with the board pieces that are on either side of the middle one. And I'm just using the lines that I created as my guide, and don't worry if you go over the lines, because actually it looks better when the colors mix together, and you'll see at the end that I am going to mix the colors together to actually make it look a little bit better and a little bit more like aged wood. So here's how it looked after I was done with my first coat on all the pieces. And as you can see, that middle one to me just stood out too much. I felt like that Pewter Gray was a different type of gray than the other 2. So I just decided to go over it with that middle gray that I had that was called Elephant Gray. And I decided to just do 2 different types of tones of gray for this shelf. I know that the original one had 3 different colors. And at first I thought that would be cool, but I just felt like this Pewter Gray was just so different from the other 2. So I just decided to go over the middle one with the, like I said, the Elephant Gray, and then I just wanted mine to be 2 different color grays. And then I started doing a second coat on the other areas that I had already painted. Now this is how it looked when I was done with the second coat, and you can leave it like this, but I wanted to make it a little bit more aged, so I took that light gray again, that Country Gray, and I decided to do that dry brushing effect over the dark Elephant Gray, and that way the colors kind of blend together, and then it, like I said, it makes it look more aged. And as you can see, it's, once I add that little Country Gray on top, it gives it that kind of aged old wood look, that's like the farmhouse style. And so I just keep going back and forth through the whole process. I'm gonna do it over the whole board and kind of just mix all the colors together. But you want to make sure when you're dry brushing that you just tap off the excess and you only put a little paint at a time, because as you can see I put a lot right there, and then you got to really mix it and rub the paint off when certain areas, because you don't want to get a big splotch of paint. So then you want to sit there and move it. And in instance like that where I just put a lot of paint, I'll just go back in with the Elephant Gray and then do a dry brushing effect too if I need to add a little bit more darker colors. And you can go back and forth with the 2 different colors until you get the color you achieve. But I just love this dry brushing effect and how you can get this farmhouse look for way less. And I just love doing this with all my DIYs when it comes to farmhouse. Once I have painted it to my liking, I went back in with my ruler and my pencil just to intensify those lines again, because I added more paint over it. Some of the lines got basically disappeared, and you want to make sure you show the lines because you want this to look like pieces of wood put together. So you do want to intensify those lines. Now it's time to make this shelf part. Now for this, I took this Bless Our Home sign that you can find in like the decor pieces in Dollar Tree, and I basically took it apart. Now some of these are easy to take apart and some of these are not. My other one was easier to take apart, but this one was really hard. I had to have my husband help me. But I just basically took all the pieces apart, and I'm going to save the Bless Our Home sign for another DIY project, so stay tuned for that. So you can use either or of these pieces for the actual shelf part, because they can be used. I think they both look good. You can use this little half circle one. That would be kind of cute to put as like the ledge of the shelf, but I'm gonna go on with the rectangular one since we have all the little palette pieces. I wanted to make it more of a palette look, so I'm gonna go in with the rectangular shape. Now because this is like a piece of wood, like kind of raw wood, I didn't prep it with any white paint. I just decided to go in straight with the darker gray, which actually like the medium gray. So I went in with the elephant gray first, and I just basically painted the whole thing completely with the elephant gray. And once the elephant gray was completely dry, I went back in with that country gray and did a dry brushing technique on top. Once that paint was fully dry, now it's time to attach both pieces together. And to do this, I'm using this cutting mat that's kind of like a sewing cutting mat I got a while back, and I use this anytime I need to get right measurements and get everything lined up perfectly. So I'm basically lining it up with the lines on the mat, and then I'm also using this lever to line up the shelf piece that I'm attaching, just to make sure everything is nice and straight and even, so this could be an even shelf. To attach the two pieces together, I'm doing a mixture of this wood glue and this adhesive glue that I get at Dollar Tree that I told you works amazing, and I use it for a lot of my projects. Once the glue had dried, I went back in again with my ruler and my pencil, and I intensified not only the lines on the palette part but also on the shelf part. So I also did the edges, because I felt like adding the pencil marks not only to the lines but on the edges kind of made it look more like wood. So I think that this is a great like tip to do, not only when you're doing like palette type things. Don't only just do the lines, definitely intensify the sides and the little outside grooves and stuff like that. Intensify them with either paint or, like in my case, a pencil, because it really makes it look more like aged wood. And this is how the shelf looked once I was done intensifying all the lines and the little grooves and the outside with the pencil. And I feel like this little tip just makes it look more aged. Now I'm going to figure out how I'm going to hang it. And so what I'm doing with this is I'm taking another Easter sign, kind of this little kind of like square wood sign, and I'm taking the little hanging part off of that sign and attaching it to this, because I'm actually going to use this square wood sign for something else and I don't need to hang it. So stay tuned for that DIY. But I'm going to take the little piece off of that and I'm just going to attach it to the back side of this board so I can hang it. And I'm going to take off the bunny off of it so that I can reuse the bunny for DIYs later. I really don't decorate for Easter, but just in case I want to do something for you guys in the future, I'm just going to take that bunny so I can keep it for later. Now that little hook piece has some pokey things sticking out of it, so I'm just using my pliers to bend them down so that I'm able to glue it to the back of this shelf. And the glue that I'm using for this is that adhesive glue that, again, I use this a lot in my projects. And if you're new to my channel, basically I feel like this is an adhesive glue that you can get at Dollar Tree, and I feel like it's just as good as E6000. And matter of fact, ever since I found it, I don't even use E6000 anymore. So most of the time when I'm doing my projects, you'll always see me using this adhesive glue, which is just as good as E6000. And I always use the Dollar Tree wood glue, which is amazing as well, just like Elmer's wood glue. So definitely use those Dollar Tree glues, they really do work. And this is how the shelf turned out, and I really like how it came out. I can't believe that it came out looking so much like the one on Etsy. And again, this only cost me $2 to make, and it's not that much smaller than the one that's on Etsy. And you can always change this up. If you want to do a beach theme, you can do the beach colors, but I wanted to go neutral with the things that I have at home. And then to decorate this, all I did was use Dollar Tree products. This is actually a home sign that you can get in the craft section at Dollar Tree, and they're little succulents. And I decided to keep the home sign just plain wood. Like, I didn't want to paint it at all because my daughter said that they liked it how it is. So I just love the way that this little shelf came out, and it's so cute. It can go in any room. So that is how I recreated this farmhouse style wall shelf for just $2. I really love how this little one came out. I just don't know where I'm going to put it at yet. I don't know if I'm going to put it in the laundry room or the bathroom or the entranceway. Like, I have so many places that I could put it downstairs. I just don't know where to put it. So that's like what I'm trying to figure out, is where to put it now. Thank you, Yami from the Latina Next Door, and also Courtney from Creative on the Cheap for having this, collaboration and asking us to participate. I always love when I can join in on these collaborations because I get ideas from you guys, and then I'm able to make new friends from the collaborations as well, and we're able to like bounce off ideas from each other. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys are doing. Like, what are you guys creating from your stash? Have you been creating things from your stash, or so that you don't have to go out? Because I really don't want you to go out to Dollar Tree or any place to buy things unless you have to. So let me know if you're creating things at home and what you're creating with the stuff that you have. I feel like you create the best things when you look at the stuff that you have and you think about how to use them as opposed to going to the store. So let me know in the comments down below. Send me pictures, tag me on Instagram, share with me your ideas so that I can see them and get more ideas of my own so I can create more content for you guys. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Hey guys, don't forget to click on the picture in the middle of the screen so you can subscribe to my channel and get notifications on all the new videos that I put out, and check out these other 2 videos that I have posted on my channel on either side of my picture. Have a great day.